When Senegalese President Macky Sall cancelled the planned election that was supposed to occur in February 2024, everybody that the country, which has been hailed as the most stable democracy in Africa, was about to lose their title. However, the pressure from the country and the international community eventually led the president to reverse his decision, and on March 24, 2024, the Senegalese presidential election was held with 19 candidates contesting for that position, and based on the general amnesty law passed shortly before the vote to ease political tensions. Election results. The next president of Senegal is no other than 44-year-old opposition leader Bassirou Diomaye Faye, a man who was in jail 2 weeks before the election and who nobody knew about 2 years ago. So who is Diomaye Faye? What is his plan for the people of Senegal? Can he be compared to Africa's youngest president, Captain Ibrahim Traore? Let's find out in this video. Born in 1980, Diomaye Faye never dreamed that he would one day become the president of Senegal. After graduating from the university in 2000, he bagged a master's degree in law and started a career as a tax inspector in the Tax and Estate Department. It was during this period that he met and forged a friendship with the leader of Senegal's main opposition party, Ousmane Sonko, who was also a tax inspector at the time. Together they were instrumental in forming the Taxes and Estate Union, where Diomaye acted as an advocate for facilitating home ownership for tax and property agents. In 2014, Ousmane Sonko founded a new political party known as the Patriots of Senegal PASTEF, where Faye was initially a guest. However, he swiftly rose to prominence in the party and played a very important role as one of the ideologues and architect of Sonko's presidential program in 2019, during which Sonko unfortunately finished third. Then came 2021 when Faye had to assume the role as General Secretary of the PASTEF, after Sonko was arrested for allegedly raping a minor. As the General Secretary, Faye attempted to unite the opposition for the 2022 elections, resulting to him winning 56 seats under the Liberate, the People's Alliance. While Sonko was still battling a slew of court cases, which he said were politically motivated to stop him from running in the 2024 elections, Faye was also arrested and imprisoned in April 2023 for spreading false news, insulting a magistrate and defaming a constituted body, after making very simple comments on social media. And their Diomaye remained until everything changed, when Ousmane Sonko was also detained and barred from running in the upcoming elections due to a defaming conviction. Before this time, his political party PASTEF has been disbanded by the Supreme Court in July 2023. Party members from the disbanded PASTEF, with Faye included, were convinced that Sonko's detention and abandoning of the political party were all part of the deploy by the current administration to eliminate strong contestants from the election. And so they decoyed to put their names forward. However, only Faye made the cut, even though he was still in prison, and a coalition of more than 100 parties, including political heavyweights such as Prime Minister Aminata Touré, joined Faye's campaign under the banner, Die, or is Sonko. And thanks to a general amnesty law which was passed shortly before the vote in order to ease political tensions, Diomaye, who had been in prison for 11 months, was released together with Sonko in early March to prepare for the election. Faye and Sonko hit the campaign trail, crisscrossing the country and drawing thousands of people to their rallies and caravans. Though the campaign period was short, about 7 million Senegalese came out to vote during the election. Ahead of Sunday's election, Faye published a declaration of his assets and called on other candidates to do the same. Among his assets included a home in Dakar and land outside the capital as well as in his hometown, plus bank accounts hold about $6,600. On the 26th of March, 2024, Bassirou Diomaye Faye was officially declared the winner of the 2024 Senegalese presidential election. Speaking at his first public appearance after the election, Faye told the journalists present that by electing me, the Senegalese people have decided on a break with the past, and I promise to govern with humility and transparency. As news spread about Faye's win, Senegalese, most especially the youths, who had under the corrupt regime of the current administration, came out in their numbers to celebrate his win. The international community also congratulated the country and what they call a win for democracy, but questions were also raised about the foreign policy of the new at the time when the coastal nation is becoming an oil and gas producer. In simple terms, the West has begun to worry about what the new government of Diomaye Faye has in stock for them. This brings us to the question: what exactly are Faye's policies for the people of Senegal and the international community? First, according to Faye, the foundation of his political project is to rehabilitate the institutions of the republic and restore the state based on the rule of law, something he said was flooded by Macky Sall. Speaking further, Faye stated that he intends to fight against what he calls hyperpresidentialism, which he said has led to the presidential arm of government having excessive control over legislative and judicial branches, resulting in manipulating justice, target, and imprisonment of political opponents. To this end, Faye promises to limit the powers of the president, introduce impeachment, prohibit the accumulation of political mandates, fight corruption, and introduce alternatives to imprisonment. Secondly, Faye promises to reclaim the sovereignty of Senegal, a word he used not fewer than 18 times in his manifesto. During Faye's final rally, Sonko declared that from now on, Senegal will be an independent nation that would collaborate with the world based on a win-win partnership. And according to Faye, reclaiming the sovereignty of Senegal means renegotiating mining and hydrocarbon contracts that are set to officially take serious effect this year. He also plans to reassess fishing agreements with foreign countries, because the fish resources that have been supporting over 6,000 Senegalese have been dwindling as a result of plunder from European and Asian trawlers. In addition to these, Faye plans to develop the primary sector to ensure food security and move towards self-sufficiency, notably the staple of rice. Thirdly, Faye intends to introduce a new currency called the Senegal to replace the CFA franc, which has been used by the country for more than 65 years. In an interview with French daily Le Monde, Faye stated that in order to introduce the CFA franc, it will ideally be done within the framework of Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, with the ECO, the West African single currency project that has yet to come to materialize. However, he added that if that doesn't work, Senegal will have to create their own currency. Finally, aside from shifting away from the CFA franc, Faye intends to also reset the relationship with France, Senegal's main trading partner. The relationship will no longer be as it used to be, but now it will be based on a win-win partnership. This means that if France is not ready for that change, then Senegal will have no choice but take alternative partners. Now, as you can see, Faye's policies are brilliant and speak of the kind of leader the people of Senegal should expect. But here comes the million-dollar question: can Diomaye Faye be compared to Ibrahim Traore, Africa's youngest president? Well, if you take a look at Faye's policies, you will notice that they align with those of Ibrahim Traore, president of Burkina Faso. As everyone knows, the sovereignty of a country is something that Captain Ibrahim Traore values so much, and from the time he came in power, he has taken several actions that prove that he truly values the sovereignty of Burkina Faso. Some of these actions include taking charge of Burkina Faso's mining industry, which had formerly been left to the plunder of Western companies, renegotiating mining contracts with foreign companies and refusing to allow Western countries to dictate how things are done in Burkina Faso, and just as Traore has done, Diomaye Faye intends to protect the sovereignty of Senegal by renegotiating resource agreements with foreign countries which have not benefited the country. Captain Traore has also distanced Burkina Faso from its former colonial master, the French, by kicking out French forces, ending the defense agreements, and planning to create a new currency. Although Faye has not said anything about kicking out the French forces or ending the agreement with France, his idea of replacing the CFA franc with the new currency and declaring that partnership with France will now be based on a win-win agreement certainly suggests that he intends to distance the country from France. Now, while there is a great similarity between Faye and Captain Traore in terms of policies, the big difference is Captain Traore is already in power and has already implemented these policies. The whole world, including the West, knows where he stands. Diomaye Faye, on the other hand, has not started ruling, and his policies are still promises. The question now is whether he will do just as he has promised or he will act like his predecessors who are known for breaking their promises. Only time will tell. We will surely keep you posted on his achievements. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos.